Satan came to meet, and he presented himself to the Lord. The Lord asked him, "What you doing here? I ain't crazy over there." And he was like, Job loves you enough. He won't do it anyway. He's not going to give up on you. And he said, "Have you?"
At the end of the day, I wish my mother wouldn't have left. I wish my father wouldn't have left. I wish my grandfather wouldn't have died. But because of the fact of understanding and knowing that death is not the end, death is only the beginning, and it's a place of rest. Because when you look at it, you said scientifically, let me go here. When you lay down to sleep at night, according to modern science, technically you are dead. You're in a state of suspended animation. You're in a place of what they call utopia, because your body only has about 5 to 10% function. In other words, your breathing is only at about 3%. Your heart rate is only at about 2%. All of your body functions and faculties where you would normally get up and have normal bowel movements, have normal secretions where you would urinate and things of that nature, all of those things come to a halt and to a standstill. But yet at that place, technically you're dead without being dead while you sleep. Death is a place of sleep. That's why the Bible calls it some are asleep, some are sick. Some are sick in the fact that they physically have ailments in their body, like I have. But yet when it says sleep, that means they have died. They're resting because the soul is still there waiting for the voice of Christ to call them back to himself. Same thing that happened with Lazarus. The only reason why Lazarus was able to get up, he was physically dead. The life that was in him, the spirit went back to God, but his soul was still able to hear the voice of Jesus and was able to now respond and come back. And breath was able to enter back into his body. Does that make sense now?
Yeah. I thought he was gonna break it down a little bit more further. You know he do.
Well, think about it. Anytime you go into surgery, they literally, if you look at it, they cause you to die because they kill every nerve ending or cell so that you don't feel anything that they're doing while still yet keeping you alive by the process of using certain machines to breathe for you, to keep your heart beating, but yet you're dead. And when they complete the surgery, they have to remedicate you to take the medications that put you in the state of utopia or in the state of death or the state of suspended animation. Suspended animation just simply means you're there, but you're not moving. You're alive, but don't nobody know, and you don't know I am. But yet they got to give you medicines to now reverse the effect of a death state to bring you back to a state of life. Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
So they numb you, which means you're alive, but you don't know yourself where you at. So think about death being at a place that you have no feeling, but yet you're still existing. Only waiting for the right medicine to awake you and arouse you to now come back to life to see what's going on the other side. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Oh, we thank the Lord. Believe it or not,
The geek.
more than you have.
The geek.
More than you have those same questions. Because it's kind of hard, and that's our lesson for our Bible study. How is it to believe in someone that you cannot see?
But ask the people of Israel. Ask Moses.
But now, how is it to not believe when Jesus walked on the earth and he healed and performed miracles and people saw him do it and they still didn't believe?
Richard, I thought it was.
All right. The color of this Jesus that we have.
The geek.
So hold on. Okay. I ain't meant to put it like that.
No, I like that. No, I like that. Ask it just like you want to ask.
What color was he?
Black.
Well, if you look at the area that he was from, you look at the region in which he came up in. We have taken the prima donna pictures of what he once was, and they have been watered down. You look at what the Bible describes him as, and you look at the manner in which it gives the descriptions of what he was. He was a person that was of African descent. You have him as a person of color. You have him as a person that was about a little bit lighter than what your skin tone is, and his hair texture was just like yours. He wore dreadlocks. His hair was in locks. He stood 6'6". He had broad shoulders as I had. He was not a small man. He was very verbal. His voice was about as powerful as mine, as they speak as him having a voice of many waters. So when you look at it, it is not so much about the colors because we get stuck on it. But if you look at the colors and we look at the representation of what have been watered down because we want to put it in such a fashion to make it be one thing so that we can make it become ours instead of making it become what it really is, because we have to have something to look at. We know different than Israel was when they told Moses' brother Aaron that because Moses in the mountain and we believe he died and we want to see a God because we believe this God, but we can't see this God, so we want a God that we can see. So fashion us because he was skilled and craftful, being able to craft things together. So they created a golden calf. It's no different. So because they could not see Jesus, and the Jesus that they saw, they didn't want to believe in it because of what he looked like. So they made him to be what he is. So now if you look at it, you can have him at whatever color you want. But a whole lot of people are going to be at a place where they're going to be in a position where they ain't going to stand what they see. But then at the end of the day, he's to every man, to everything. But at the end of the day, do you really believe that he exists? So the most important part is believing. But the real part is that he did exist. The real part is that he was the color that he was. But the most important thing, he was the Son of God.
He got back up.
Does that make sense?
All right, and another question. So why does he allow people to do things they do to this day? Like they go out there, they go rob banks, shoot people, all other type of stuff. Like why he allow that?
The simplest answer is that in the beginning, God gave man free will choice. In other words, you have the choice to make whether or not you're going to sleep with 50 women or whether you're going to be with one woman. You have the choice of whether or not they got $100 laying on the floor and you know it's not yours, and you're going to pick it up and say, hey, somebody dropped this $100 bill, or whether you're going to put that $100 bill in your pocket. You have the choice of whether or not you're going to go get a job or whether or not you're going to strong rob somebody because you don't want to go out and work for nothing. You figure you'll take it and you'll live off it as long as you can because you figure you came up and formulated a plan that was good enough to go in, rob the folk, cover your face up, not kill nobody, not hurt nobody, because the whole purpose of was being able to get ahead. We make the choices we make because we feel we're in the positions that we're in because we can't get no further than we are because of the present condition and circumstances that we are facing. So we feel we do what we have to do out of need and out of necessity. So why does God allow it? He doesn't allow it because even in the beginning, when Adam had the opportunity to stop from eating of the fruit that came from the tree in the midst of the garden, God didn't stop him. He gave him a choice to choose to do the right thing or the wrong thing. We can either choose to tell the truth or tell a lie. Now, you know you ain't had no business staying out an hour later than what you did. And you know you came in an hour late, but you had your brother open up the window. You came in, mama was sleeping, mama wasn't sure. And mama asked you, did you come in at the time that you said you came in, but you have a hard time waking up and you know you stayed out an extra hour later than you should and you got trouble getting in. Or somebody said, well, didn't I see you at so-and-so? Nah, you ain't see me. That wasn't me, nah, dog. You know that. I don't know who you saw. Nah. Yeah, well, you had on such and such and so-and-so. Now, mama, remember what you had on when you left. You came home with the same clothes on. You feel me? So you had a choice. So why does God allow it? He doesn't allow it. He gives us the opportunity to make the decision whether or not we're going to rob, whether or not we're going to kill, whether or not we're going to steal, whether or not we're going to murder. So now you come ahead a little bit in the word in the book of Genesis. Now you got Cain and Abel. Abel had a problem. Well, Cain had a problem with Abel because of the fact that when God asked them to present their sacrifices and offer what they had, he had a chance to go and correct what he did, but he didn't offer God what was good. Mama give you a chance to go back and offer your best, and instead of you presenting your best to mama, you jealous of your brother, you jealous of your sister, you just didn't feel like doing it, so you did any old thing. So now mama says she hated what you did, and you thought mama was saying she hated you. But what it was, mama didn't like the fact that you didn't do and give your all, and because you didn't give your all, now you upset. That's what God said with Cain. He said he hated Cain's offering, but he loved Abel's offering. And people think that God hated Cain. God didn't hate Cain. He hated the fact that Cain had an opportunity to go and do it. So what Cain did, he got angry, he got mad, he got jealous. So he allowed jealousy to override his thought process. His thought process got upset to the fact to where his anger overrided and clouded his judgment, and his judgment killed his brother. So murder's been going on since the beginning. But all of it started because he wouldn't control his thoughts nor take the opportunity to go back and rectify the opportunity to fix and correct what he had done. Does that make sense? So does God allow it? God allowed us to make the right choice because he put it in our hand. He told Adam to, have dominion. He told Adam to subdue. Dominion means to properly execute and to rule well in the earth as God does in heaven, which means make right judgment, make right decisions. And when things are not right, when you get ready to judge them in the right manner, that's going to benefit everybody, not just yourself. And if that means you got to now pass sentence on some things that are not right, everybody may not like what you do, but if it's going to benefit everybody and everybody going to get something from it, then that's the thing that should really matter. Does that make sense? Any other questions?
No.
So we thank God today. Thank God for the teaching. We bless God this morning. I bless God for my nephew this morning. I like that. And I'm not a nerd Christian. I'm not a geek Christian. I'm just a child of the King. I just happen to have a little sense that the Lord gave me. May not be a whole lot, but we thank God. I'm grateful this morning. Thank God for the morning teaching. Have you grown up yet? We all still have room to grow. And that's why God called, yes, I am. That's why God called us his children. We are the children of God. And here's the bad part of that most of us, we don't want to be called a child. We're so grown that we don't want to be called a child, but yet we have no problem with being called the children of God. If we're the children of God, then it shouldn't be no problem for us to say, or for somebody to call us a child, because we ought to have childlike essence. Look what happened in Luke chapter 18. And the young children was brought unto him, and he laid his hands on them, and he blessed them. That's where we get all of this christening stuff, and that's where we want to dedicate the children back to the Lord from it. We want to make sure that our child being blessed, and we want to offer our child back up to the Lord. But the sad part is we offer our child back up to the Lord, but we turn around and we smoke dope with them, we drink alcohol with them, we run the street with them, we club with them. Come on, y'all. We run women with them, y'all run men with them. Come on, y'all. But you just had the man or the woman of God to pray the prayer and begin to offer them back to God. That's what happened with Hannah and I. Hannah and Penah, when they went up to the temple, in the book of Samuel, when 1 Samuel chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, when Samuel was born, the problem came because Penah, she made fun of Hannah because Hannah was not pregnant. Now, I know my auntie might be watching this morning, and like I told her, I have good sense and I understand, and I had to do a lot of praying myself. But, at the end of the day, I look at the thing and I recognize it. And auntie, I'm not disrespecting anything that you said if you're watching blind. And I know you like to watch Incognito and what have you. And yeah, she got up and she done the teaching. But there's some things that I need to put out today. There's some things that I need to get out today, because at the end of the day, we got to recognize that in our growing up stage, some of us still need to go back down to the water. Some of us need to go back to the river. Some of us need to go back to the bayou. Some of us need to go back to the lake. We need to go back to the pool, and we need to be dipped one more time. Amen. Because we refuse to grow up and become mature. Look at the thing, y'all. She mocked the wife that was barren. And I need to put this peg here for some of y'all, because if we had grown up just because somebody's ministry have not reached or reached or have not got to the place where yours is, or have gotten to the place where yours have become, or they have not matured in how they deliver the word, and they have not grown in the manner in which they deliver the message in teaching, they have not graduated in the manner in which they syntax, or how they begin to put words together and formulate words and begin to present them into sentences, and their illustrations may not be quite like yours, and they may not know how to extract and isolate. They don't know how to exegese and eisegese. They may not know the homiletical style of everything, and they may not know the the theological concept of this, and they may not know how to be able to arrange it in the way that you do it, does not mean that they have not arrived and God ain't called them.
Come on.
Can I help somebody today?
Yes.
Because when you look at how she arranged it and what Paul said from Luke chapter 18, and when she went into 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11, and Paul said, when I was a child, I acted as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away child away. Some of y'all grown in age and still act like a child.
Amen.
Your mannerism and your conduct and the way that you handle business, and you still talk. Come on, y'all need y'all to get it.
Who be sick, damn.
Can I help somebody today?
Yes, help us out.
So when you look at this thing and you look at Luke chapter 18 and all the children were brought and they do the christening, and you go back to 1 Samuel chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, some of y'all are barren for a reason. Don't worry about the fact that the ground have not produced it. You done went up to the temple with the man or the woman of God. You done went up with your husband or with your wife. And the ministry been in existence for 5, 10 years, 15 years, and it's still got the same 5, 7, 8 members. That don't mean nothing, baby. Let them make fun, because wow, they're making fun of you. God about to shut up their womb.
Come on.
They got all kind of access to monies there. They got partnerships here and there. God about to dry up some wells with some folk, and he's about to shift and rearrange some things. That's hot off the press. Somebody need to get it. See, y'all be wanting prophetic messages, and when God give y'all prophetic dissertations, y'all don't even know how to catch and receive it, because the man or the woman of God didn't say, I heard the Lord say it. See, you can't even hear the Spirit of the Lord speaking unto you without the man or woman of God saying it.
Come on.
Come on, y'all. Yeah, shots fired, Christian. So I'm trying to help you so I can get to the message this morning. But I just had to go there, and I love the questions that were asked. Why did God create us and we still die? Why God allow folk to rob, kill, and steal? What they doing? You know, why these things happen. I like that when young folk do that, because it really stirs me, because, you know, some folk would have all of these great, let me put it the way God said it. And if you were listening as their answer was given, I didn't give mine, but I gave it as God said in his word. And here's what God allowed us to do. The reason why God allowed, because he gave you the right to choose. So when you look at the lesson, you got a right to grow up or stay a child.
That's it.
And some of y'all still want to be a child while y'all living out your child's dream, and you're an adult because you wasn't able to fulfill what needed to be fulfilled. Uh-oh. See, this ain't knocking nobody, but see, as you grow up and you begin to put away childish things, see, a child will do what is necessary to please its father. What is that you said for Samuel chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3? And see, Samuel's mother, she went up to the temple. And see, some of y'all looking at these folk and wondering why they're acting strange, and you think they done had something. They high on something. Something must be wrong with them, and why they praying the way they praying, and why they praising the way they praising, and they ain't got the day. They sleeping outdoors. They sleeping in their car. They ain't got no lights on in their house. And they barely got to pay a slice of bread. Come on, y'all.
Right.
They get ready to eat their last meal. Don't know whether or not they're going to have a meal for tomorrow. But yet they praising God so hard. They're doing it for a reason, because God had made them a promise.
Well,
Promise was a year later, here now Hannah came back with a son, and her promise to God is that when she weaned the child, she'll bring him back. See, some of y'all done dedicated y'all child to the Lord, and now you don't want to see your child give his or her time to the Lord. You don't remind them of what it came from. It was pretty and fine. It was nice and good. It looked fine while there was a child coming up in the church dancing before God, presenting the word of God. Come on, y'all. Singing in the choir, playing the music in the house of the Lord. Now they got a chance to go and sing in the world.
Come on.
No, Joe LeGone, when he sung the song, Pray For Me, Joe told a story about a young man that used to sing in the choir. Hell, I got a witness here.
Yes.
And Joe said, that young man, let me stop. Y'all thought I was going to go there, huh?
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me help you understand. See, some of y'all been doing this for a long time, and now your child out there doing everything under the sun, and now your child done got down and can't get up and facing death, and now you want to beg the Lord. Well, when you could have steered them, I can't make them do nothing. No, you have to remind them of where they came from.
Come on.
You ain't got to force them, but you got to remind them.
Yes.
And in reminding them, sometimes you got to leave them. I'm going to leave you in the hands of the Lord. Oh, of the Lord. That's what a mother said.
Come on.
As she prayed the other day, just before she died. See, sometimes you got to leave them. What that simply means, that means I'm going to stop bugging you, I'm going to stop bothering you, but I'm going to ask God to just put things before you to remind you of where you come from. See, you got to learn how to separate your job from your lifestyle from your living. And that's the problem that a lot of us have. We don't know how to separate the two because we got to enjoy the world and the world too busy enjoying us. Then when the world done got all they can get out of you now, you're raggedy, you're toe down, you ain't no different than Gomer is.
Come on.
Come on, y'all. See, God trying to remind y'all that at the end of the day, that I love you so much, you're so polluted, but I'm going to take you back. Come on, y'all. See, a lot of y'all lied and told that lie. I never take her back. I never take it back. Guess what? God said, guess what? I took you back and you ain't even know it.
Yeah, still dog.
I'm the only one that's going to be bothered with you. Right? We dog God out every time we get up and tell that lie. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. We lie every time we say that.
That's why you have to do that. You know I do that. I do that.
Christian, you ain't the only one that do it. You got grown folk that been in the house of the Lord forever and a day. Tell that lie every Sunday morning. I'm on the battlefield for my Lord.
Man,
oh, I am on. See, we tell that lie all the time.
I ain't saying that all day.
Let me help us get to John chapter 5 is where we're going to come from this morning.
I'm really going
to get out your way because I've already introduced the message to you because when you look at have you grown up, see, some of us just need to grow up. See, some of y'all parents need to pull their umbilical cord. Y'all need to cut the umbilical cord. You know, see, they cut it for a reason because they cut the strings. And see what happened with Adam and Eve in the garden. The umbilical cord was cut in the garden between him and God. And he stepped out eternity in the time. There was no more a direct line and a direct channel that he was fed. Because see, the umbilical cord, you know, and I said it two different ways for a reason. Because it has everything that the child needs. It ain't got to fend for itself. It don't have to go look for no nutrients. It ain't got to go look for no food. Because whatever the mother has, it goes to the child. See, some of y'all need to stop, you know, spoon feeding your children still.
Nah,
that's what y'all doing. That's why they ain't growing up yet. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I see one of my pastor friends, one of my apostle friends. She said, "I'm tired of being a Toys R Us kid. I want to grow up." Sad part is that some of y'all keep talking about you want to grow up, but you still want folk to give you stuff. You don't want to go through nothing. You don't want to deal with nothing. You don't want to be responsible for nothing. You want everybody to take your responsibility.
Yes.
You want to tell a lie and let everybody else fix all the mistakes you done made. Come on, y'all.
They love the titty.
Well, that's why they said, you right, Christian, they still want to be on the titty. They still want to be on the nipple. They still want to suck milk.
I'm sorry.
But see, we don't want the sincere milk of the word of God that we may grow thereby, because as we are taking in the nutrients that come from the milk of the word of God, it begins to nourish us in ways that now we don't want to lie as often as we used to. We don't want to taste as often as we used to taste. We're not going to hang around folk that's going to get us in trouble. You feel me?
Yes.
We learn how to control our faculties and our eyes and our ears, and our emotions are no longer out of whack. And every woman that passed by, or if you're a woman, every man that passed by, he got a six-pack and he built and he got everything we want. It don't make us out.
I don't want your milk, mama.
Come on. See, you missed what I just said. See, every big booty woman, Christian, that passed by ain't gonna catch your eye. I'm gonna call it to you, son.
Yeah.
See, you when you get the milk of the word of God and it start nourishing your spiritual digestive system, circulatory system, nervous system, skeletal system, endocrine system. Come on now, I need you to get it. See, you called me the geek, so let's call it out. Your auditory system, your visual. Come on now, I need you to get it.
I'm catching it with you.
When it begin to give all of what is needed there, your immune system. Come on now. You know, it causes your T cells and your white blood cells and your red blood cells and make sure that your hemoglobin and it makes sure all of your levels are well.
Amen.
Come on, make sure your pancreas, your gallbladder, your kidneys. Come on, I need y'all to get it.
Yep.
It makes sure that these things are functioning well. Your liver, when it begin to process the things that you put in it, begin to excrete it well. Your large intestine well. It finally now begin to cause waste to go out. Things that you ingested that you shouldn't have ingested, you don't have problems. They'll call Crohn's disease. See, some of us got spiritual Crohn's.
Amen.
Because see, when you look at John chapter 5, we're going to look at this because they had a lot of folk that had this problem down at the pool called Bethesda, the house of mercy. See, every time you come to the house of God, it's a place of mercy. Come on, y'all gonna get it. I told you I'm gonna take you right in to the message and everything that I'm saying and leading up to it, because here now, after all of these things, John chapter 1 said in the beginning was the word. Then he goes on to say, the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld. Come on, y'all need y'all to get it. Then he said, now he find himself down at a wedding in Cana of Galilee. See, some of y'all need some water being transformed. See, some of the water that y'all drinking need to be shifted so that you got some new wine. Y'all gonna get it in a minute. I'm getting ready to get out your way in just a second here. I'm almost there. I'm almost there now. I feel pretty good. Then you get down to chapter 3 and you got private meetings. And some of y'all that had private meetings last night. Some of y'all got some private meetings that ain't had nothing to do with God.
Amen.
Some of y'all got private meetings on the church.
Oh my Lord.
On your leaders. On your leader wife. On your leader husband.
Come on.
Wow.
Come on, y'all.
Come on.
True.
Don't follow what the leader got to say.
That's it.
But you can't get what you need because you need the leader to give you the information that's needed. So you got your paperwork to go where you got to go. Go on a little further, he find himself dealing with some other folk in that same 3rd chapter of John. Some of y'all sit on councils with all these governors and look at all of these senators, you know, whether Republican or Democrat. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. All of your council people sitting in your town, mayors. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. Sheriffs,
All forgot.
city police, marshals. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it.
Yeah.
Principals, teachers. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. They saved on Sunday, Friday, Saturday. Come Monday morning when it's time to go sit down in the classroom. Sit on the judge seat. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. They forgot the God they serve. Because in the back of their mind, what comes in the forefront? Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. That's what Nicodemus did. Sat on the Sanhedrin. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it.
Amen.
3rd chapter, John, check it out for yourself. I'm going to show you where we're going in a minute and then. Some of y'all still want to be in the hills. Some of y'all still want to be in the mountains. Chapter 4. Then some of y'all still want to throw stones at folk because they done laid up with somebody that wasn't their wife or their husband. Some of y'all done laid up with other churches. Other pastors saying amen. Laid up with other choirs and other groups that you done sung with but can't say at your own church. When the other prayer services won't even join in the prayer meeting at the church where your name on the road. Well, y'all gonna pray with me now? Can I help somebody? And see the morning message they're talking about at the pool. And see, right now, we at the pool. We at the house of mercy. God give you mercy every morning that you wake up. You ain't gotta wait till you get to the house of God. God give you mercy in your bedroom.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Some of y'all looking to be healed or come to the church and we stay all broke up, and then some of y'all want God to heal the same thing. And every time they tell you to take up your bed and walk, you go right back to the same thing. Come on, y'all. You know how I know been down that road. Been there, done that. I was sold this church so many times. They tired of seeing it. Come on, y'all. So when we look at this thing and you look at how the message this morning, how we grow up. See, when you grow up, you get tired of folk laying you at the pool.
Yes.
Some of y'all just like it was in Acts chapter 3. Your family bring you to church, bring you in the wheelchair. Cerebral palsy. Come on, y'all.
Come on.
Got spinal business and everything else. Come on, y'all need y'all to get it.
Yep.
Spinal cord disconnected because you had problems at birth or you had an accident. Come on, y'all. Legs won't. You quadriplegic and what have you, and you cannot move. Come on, y'all. Need y'all to get it. See, I got good sense and I understand the things that go on, and I realize sometimes we move ahead and sometimes we move too fast, but sometimes God wants you to move to show that He's still in charge.
Yes.
Got that right.
So look at the text. Look at John chapter number 5 and again look at verse number 1 to verse number 7 and see this what some of y'all impotent. Some of y'all incompetent.
Ooh, big words.
Some of y'all ain't got no ability to hold nothing. Come on, y'all. You ain't got no strength. Impotent mean without strength, without power. You ain't got no force. You have a lack of self-control. Your bodily functions do what they want. You can't control your bowels.
Come on.
Come on, y'all. Need y'all to get it.
Drop seeds.
Yeah, you got more than dropsies, but you got lixies as well because your mouth can't hold the water that came out the cup you just drunk out of. Every time somebody speaks something in your ear, your mouth running over your behind. Come on, y'all. Need y'all to get it now. You just hang around folk and you a table bow. Run with every little thing. Get a little piece of message there. Run everywhere telling dang, you ain't got no business telling. Ain't no wide up bed somewhere.
Come on.
Might gonna fool around and cut your tongue out your mouth. Talking about at the pool, y'all, because you got withered hands. Hands look just like mine. They can move, but they can't do anything because they won't do the work of God.
That's it.
Y'all gonna pray with me?
Yes.
Told y'all get ready to go. I'm almost through. Truthfully, I'm almost through because see, it don't take a whole lot. But because at the end of the day, if you want what God has for you, you ain't gonna wait till you're in a bad position.
Amen.
And that's the sad part is we wait till we're in a bad position, and every time God asks us, what wilt thou have me to do? Check the text. Here, that's what he asked him because 3rd chapter, John, he started off, Nicodemus came to him by night. Saying, Master, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time in his mother's womb? Jesus said, no, that ain't how it's going to happen, my boy. That ain't how it's going to go down. Said, except the man be born of water, in the spirit he came to no wise, enter into the kingdom of God.
Come on.
Then later on, Jesus said, for God so loved the world. Like, I love y'all so much that I understand that you ain't nothing but a hoe. You hoe around on me every Sunday.
Amen.
Come dressed up, put it up. Then some of y'all got all kind of services calling it, giving me some worship.
Come on.
All kind of dancing going on in my house. Come on, y'all need y'all to get it. Coming in with your heart in every place, but in the right place. Mind on everything, but on me. Yeah, your hands might be clean, nails might be fixed up, clothes might be dressed up. Come on, y'all need y'all to get it. Y'all know how some folk come pretty.
Yeah.
Smelling good. Smelling good on the outside, but their mannerism and their ways are funky. Come on, y'all.
My Lord.
Say worse than the land feed.
Man, that smells worse than me.
My Lord.
I need y'all to get it. As you go on a little further, 3rd chapter John, and go on a little further, chapter 4. And, you know, y'all throwing y'all stones, and you done ran to the Lord, and you done ran to your leader, and you done ran to your pastor, you done ran to your girlfriend, husband, and you done ran to your homegirl wife and said, I saw him, girl. I told you needed to watch him. Didn't I tell you, girl, you wasn't together, and I told you he was locked up with somebody? Come on, y'all need y'all to get it.
Yes.
Come on, need y'all to get it now. All the while they trying to lock up with him, they said.
Come on.
Well, you know how it is. They got your back until they can get in your bed. Y'all pray with me?
Well,
Somebody gonna get it out the wall.
Come on. Come on.
They got your back as long as they can stand on side of you, pay them the right money. They travel with you everywhere. You got them connected with all the connections you got, and they trying to take your church. Come on, y'all.
My Lord.
Yeah, they with you while your baby get ready to be born, but as soon as your baby born and you get a good enough time out of town, and as soon as your girl good enough to wear, somebody gonna get it. Look at the text and it go on, and man came to Jesus and said, as how some of y'all do at the end of the 4th chapter, John leading into chapter 5, come to Jesus because he now ain't component him, and everybody believe in him as long as I can get something out you. You know, as long as I can get a couple dollars out you. Well, I mean, but 50 cents. Maybe $1, short $1. You ain't never had nobody like that, huh, nephew? You ain't got, but if you got a quarter on you, You know they do that where we from.
I do that.
You know, I don't want to give it to somebody drink out the store. You know, just you know, hey, you catch you coming out of the store. You got the change on you.
I got food.
Come on, y'all. Go, I'm hungry. Go buy him something to eat. Negro, get back. Come on, y'all. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
I give them food.
Y'all should have been shouting on that.
I give them food.
Yes.
Stop at the red light and they got their little paper saying they're hungry.
Got they sign.
You done bought a meal and you get your meal. You willing to get hungry yourself. Spent your last $5.50. Gave them to drink it all. Show them mad because they really wanted you to give them some money.
Come on.
They were hustling you. Look at the text.
Well,
Jesus simply said, you know what? I just need to know what it is you want. I'm curious to see all y'all want to see. Y'all want to see me. Y'all want to see me perform some stuff. Y'all want me to be David Copperfield.
Come on.
I know that.
Y'all want me to be Houdini.
Well,
See, that's all some folks want out of God. That's what some of y'all so-called prophets are.
Come on.
Y'all want to be the Houdinis in the church.
go, preacher.
Come on, y'all. Y'all got signs and wonders and you want to have dust coming out there.
Well,
Just so you can have followers behind you, but ain't no salvation coming with the word that you're preaching.
Amen.
Go home, count up your chippers. Say like my son, I believe that's what saying call it. I believe that's what my sister called how chippers, little coins. That's what my sister called it.
I call them big.
You know, you sitting back and you counting up your chippers and you don't care whether or not they came out of that mess. You preaching them good. Preaching them up under the benches. That what the evangelist said. They done danced them up under the benches. Roll all their heels up. Had them fell on the floor. Suit all wet. But ain't nobody no closer to the Lord.
Amen.
Talking about at the pool. Because see, right now, you ain't Carter yet. You at the pool. See, God done had mercy on all of us because we're here. Now, I want to encourage my family today because I understand where we at right now. Sorrow that hit somebody's eyes. Woke up this morning, reality hit, and death is still walking.
Amen.
Come on, y'all need y'all to get it. Oh, I felt that because all my head got tight and I ain't got no hair. Hair got tight real quick.
I know you better. I know you want
Death is walking.
Yes, it
You
is.
don't understand what's going on. God done got your attention a long time ago. Come on, y'all.
Amen.
See, right now, we don't want to get no closer to the Lord because, see, we want to play church.
Come on.
We want to play God.
Come on.
We want to shout on Sunday morning. We want to tell God thank you. We want to go to class and get all the learning we want, but ain't got no living to go with the learning.
Come on.
Still hating on one another. Still can't stand our sisters and our brothers.
Yes.
Still can't stand our sisters, nieces, and nephews. They can't stand one another children. Come on, y'all.
Yes.
Matter how well we love one another.
Uh-huh.
And let me help y'all understand it ain't always about how often you call them on the phone, how often you check them. What does matter and what does show for is how really you show your concern.
Come on.
Come on, y'all. Some of y'all just call to just get the latest news and get the latest update and get the latest business. Facebook ain't got nothing on y'all. Instagram ain't got nothing on y'all. Snapchat ain't got nothing on y'all. All the social media sites, ESPN and CBN ain't got nothing on y'all. No, the CNN. No, CNBC.
Word on the street.
Got anything on half of them. Not even word on the street, Christian. Because before it even hit word on the street, some folk already got the 411.
Yep.
Look at the text. Before the man got home, Jesus said it. You don't want me to show you some kind of sign.
No doubt.
You just want some kind of wonder. Jesus simply said, go your way. Your son be healed. While the man was on his way, one of his servants walked up to him, and before he got all the way into his hometown, and he said, you know what? Your son got up the other day. What I'm trying to tell somebody, not always that God trying to move the physical ailment that you got.
Come on.
But some of y'all got some emotional ailment.
Yes, Lord.
Some of y'all got some resentful ailment.
You better say it.
Some of y'all got some mental ailments.
Come on.
Some of y'all got some psychological ailments. Some of y'all got some spiritual inadequacies that God is trying to heal today, and they're going to poop.
Thank you.
Every time you get ready to get in the water, you're just like the man. I ain't got nobody to put me here. That's why I've been here for 42 years, 41 years, 38 long years, 25 years. Lord, I ain't got that. I've been saved now 6 months, and the reason why I ain't got no closer to you because I ain't got a job yet.
Do you want to be married?
I ain't got a whole lot of money. I ain't started tithing because my 2-3 nickels gotta make sure my tithe journey, lights and water stay on in the house. No only work at Burger King. No only work at the corner roaster store. No only work at the gas station around the block, and they don't pay me but $5.75 an hour, and I gotta work about 7 days a week, almost 24 hours a day. Or I read my Bible, that's fine. Or I believe in God, that's fine. I believe that Jesus is real, that's fine. But can I ask you a question? Do you live what you believe?
Come on.
Or I don't know whether or not you believe what I'm saying or not, but you believe that sex is real. Come on, y'all gonna get it.
No.
Y'all believe some pet is real.
Yes.
Come on, if you can help me out on that one.
Yeah, man.
I ain't saying that you do it, but you at least say, amen. Well, you believe reg or regular is real.
Well,
Leaves and spruce is real. Come on, y'all.
Come on.
amen.
Need y'all to help me out here now. You lace it with whatever you want to lace it with and find yourself in a crazy house.
Come on.
For
Come on,
sure.
need y'all to get it now.
For sure.
Why are you saying that, Garrett? Why are you saying that, John? Why are you saying that, Red? Why are you saying that, Apostle? Well, been down that road. When you can't find it in that, you're chasing with some alcohol. When the alcohol and that don't get it, you'll now put some other drugs with it.
Put some
Yes.
cost up in it.
Then y'all got the nerve to say, put some respect on it.
Come
Come on,
on.
y'all.
They do that. They do stuff.
Y'all gonna pray with me
They
now?
say that.
Yes.
They say that a lot.
Look at this man. Been laid there for 38 long years.
My Lord.
Hey.
5 porches that was called Solomon Porch. Called Bethesda. Been at the house of mercy for 38 years. Meant since he came in the world, he was in bad shape. All of us, since we were born in the world is sin. Now I don't care what your age is, from 9 to 95, and from 5 to 105, you came in this world just like this man. Come on, y'all. Need y'all to get it. Don't care if you've been preaching since you was 5 years old or preaching the last 35 years.
Come on.
You still need to go back to the pool.
Yes.
See, down at the pool, you need to dip again. Some of y'all looking for somebody to give you some help. So every time I got ready to step in, somebody younger than me beat me in the water. My question is today, how bad do you want it?
Come on.
That's why Jesus asked him, what will thou have me to do? Same question is today, and I'm going to ask y'all, and I'm going to ask my family today, what wilt you have God to do?
Come on.
Understand sorrow to hit your eyes. Understand, even my sisters are still saying, Lord, how am I making? Nieces and nephews are saying, Grandma gone and my heart's still aching.
My Lord.
God said, you asked me to heal. Come on, y'all need y'all to get it now.
Yes.
Folks, mama been dead 30 years. Daddy been gone 40 years. Still grieving. You talking about your heart fixer and a mind regulator.
Yes.
My question is today, what will you have him to do?
My Lord.
Oh, you don't understand, Gary. You ain't never lost a child. Well, I've had some to die. Come on, somebody. Understand how hurtful it is.
Yes.
Well,
Watching your child go in the ground. Come on, somebody.
Come on.
See, some of y'all didn't know that. So let me help y'all understand today. Understand what it is, because everybody don't need to know your business.
That's it.
But to help somebody today, I know what it is to understand how a heart will bleed. Come on, y'all.
Yes.
well,
Yes.
Boy, I told y'all felt pretty good because we at the pool now. See, somebody last time I preached this message, I was in New York. And the funny thing of it was, I was on the cane in New York. Walked out the airport and was barely able to move.
drop it, Pastor.
Was in a convocation in New York.
Let them have
Walking on
it.
the cane in New York.
It's all
And
right.
the funny thing was, I preached this message in New York. Walking on the cane, and somehow God said, talk about the pool. I don't know what it is. It just come back to mind. And while I'm talking about the pool, I was with Cain at that time. Cain folded up at that time, y'all. Didn't do what this one do. And the funny thing was, walked out the pulpit, still preaching about the pool, the man at the thousand. And God said, look at the pool, and all I saw was water. They said, I don't see what you see, Reb. I said, look at the wall. So they got water out there. God said, step in the pool. I stepped on in the pool.
Drop that cane, Pastor.
For some reason, God, the door asked me how it happened. The cane just flew.
Hey, man. Go ahead, Pastor.
Bishop said, Reb, what happened? I said, I don't know. Something kicked the cane.
Keep preaching.
Pool was right there, and God said, whatever you want.
You got it.
They saw that. They knew I walked in, was about able to walk. Legs was shaking and everything.
Come on.
There's a
Hands
God.
were trembling, and they walked up and grabbed my hand. Folk that had been sick. Didn't know him from a jaybird. Didn't know him from, let's say, come see. And they got up with healing in their body. Like nothing ever happened.
Come on.
See, God know how to do things. My family never know. See, y'all don't understand. See, y'all ain't
That's
catch that
a
just
God.
now.
That is a
Now, I know
God.
when I walked out that room this morning, I was weaving and wobbling.
Yes, you
Yes,
was.
Lord.
I know I ain't had no strength in the left leg at all.
Come
The left
on.
leg wasn't doing none of this here. It couldn't move at all. But something about the pool.
Come
Oh,
on.
y'all don't get it. Y'all don't
Come on,
understand.
boy.
Come on.
See, when you understand it, I'm like, okay, God, last time you had me preach about the pool, there were some things that happened. All I'm trying to tell you is to my family, walk in the water.
My Lord.
Man, I had to get in the water. Angel came down. Here's your season. You waiting for the angel to stir the water. He's stirring the water now.
Come on.
Look at the pool.
My Lord.
All these impotent folk, they halt. They all shriveled up and hands all decrepit and they barely could move. And I know this morning this is how I was moving.
Yes, you was.
But I don't know what just happened. All I know is God said move the pulpit.
Boy, look at the legs.
Said move the pulpit.
My
Boy,
Lord.
there's a
He
God.
said look at the water right there.
Well, I be.
And all of a sudden, look at the legs. Seized your own the other night. Trembling everywhere. God knows I ain't had no strength. But you ain't gonna tell me when God said the angel is there to stir the water. What will thou have me to do? So I'm asking y'all today.
Not bad.
We at the pool. What you
Come
want?
on. Come on.
How bad do you want it?
Yes, Lord.
You want God to heal your heart?
Come on.
Do you really want it, or you like being pitiful? You like being sorrowful? You want God to help you to change your way? Then you got to let God get in there and you got to let God lead the way.
Come on. My Lord.
Is there anybody out there that really
Yes.
want to get in the pool?
My God.
See, you might be watching right now.
Hallelujah.
But can I tell you through the airways?
God.
Satan might be called the prince of the air, but
My Lord.
God
Yes.
created the air
Yes.
that he want to be the prince of.
My Lord.
Well, somebody need to get this right now because I'm extending
Come on,
invitation
come on.
and discipleship because I know what was going on there. See, this day
I
couldn't do
know
that.
what's
The
going
other
on.
day,
Praise
this
the
day
Lord.
couldn't do that. I couldn't do this the other day. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what God don't do.
Thank you.
Well.
Yes.
Tell me to be careful. I understand. I got good sense. But I trust God too much.
Yes. My Lord.
Too many things. We allow to hold us down.
Mm.
Too many words keep us in bondage.
Yes. Yes.
Come on now,
My
y'all
Lord.
agree?
Come on.
Too many times we hold up from God doing his work.
Uh-huh.
Because somebody said, well, you know, wait a minute. You see what's going on?
Come on. Yes.
Sometimes God wants you to be the example.
Yes. My Lord.
Wants your
Yes.
behavior to change, and you got to change enough to let God,
Yes.
when the angel is standing by.
Come on.
You holler about the angel of the Lord. We're talking to you the other day. Are you ready to get in the water, Lord?
Come on.
You really ready to change?
Come on.
Change only come when you're ready to now remove yourself out the way that the change that God is doing, he will allow it to take place.
Yes,
Oh,
Lord.
yes, it will.
Boy, you gonna make me preach hard, boy. Don't do that.
Oh, yes, it
Don't
will.
do that. So I need you to understand that we at the pool.
Yes.
This man was making excuses, and some of y'all need to stop making excuses.
Uh-huh.
Pastor, you want
Do you really believe?
Pastor,
Yes.
you want to let go? Go ahead and let him have
Huh?
a good
Do
time.
you really believe?
Go ahead and
Yes.
let go.
Jesus said, what wilt you have me to do? Then here come the doubters. Check the rest of the text. What you mean telling him take his bed up and walk? Well, let me help you understand. What you mean throwing your cane away? You know they told you to need the cane. They told you had to hold on to it. You know your legs ain't gonna be strong. Watch out the wall. I don't care what you say. God allowed them legs to gain the strength that they got now. You say what you want later on. It's all good.
Well,
Son encouraged me yesterday. He said, Daddy, since you said you're doing better. See, I ain't telling him about the seizure.
That's it.
Say, yeah, boy, I'm doing good. Say, well, Daddy, you about ready to run? I said, yeah, boy, I'm ready to run.
mm-hmm.
See, sometimes you got to be able to get to the place that you believe what you know to be true.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Let somebody tell you that that tree got brown leaves and you look at that tree and your eyes gonna see brown leaves because your mind gonna convince your eyes that the leaves are brown and they're green.
Yes.
Come on, y'all.
Yes.
Let somebody tell you that food don't taste good. Ask my daughter about it. Just because a mama don't like a dish, she gonna dislike the dish. Let somebody tell you they dislike somebody and you gonna do the same darn thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let somebody convince you that God ain't real.
Come on.
Every time God trying to show you how real he is.
All religion upon the one God.
Well, I feel you in my spirit. Watch tomorrow. Watch later on tonight. He gonna holler. He ain't feeling good. You can say what you want. There is a lie.
Come on.
I know God got me.
Come on, y'all. The doors of the church are open.
Yes.
We have the pool. Jesus said whether it be easy to say, pick up that bed and walk, or rise and walk.
Yes.
He said to say the same thing.
Yes.
So whether it be easy for me to have the cane to fall down, walk with the cane now if you want me to. Let me see the cane real quick, Christian. Come here, bring it here. So if you need to see the cane and me to offend my brother, then it won't even me. So if it offend you that I ain't got the cane, let me help you understand. I can step with the cane for you. Is that what you want me to do? You can step with the cane for you? I'm going to step with the cane with you. But let me help you understand. You know, I made a promise that at the end of the day, I wasn't going to get on this the rest of my life. And you know what? So here you go. So I know how it was this morning. I know how it was all week. I know it happened in the bathtub.
Yeah.
I knew I started having a seizure in the tub.
Yeah.
I knew what was going on. I know about the stroke. I know what happened with my heart. But I know one thing. You ain't going to tell me that God is not a heart fixer.
Yes.
Can't tell me he ain't going to restore nerves that have died out. Living witness to it.
Yes. Yes.
Something about this message at the pool.
My God.
Every time, it's on the second time I done preached it. But every time that he had me talk about the pool and I step in the water. See, y'all can't see it, but I can see it. I step in the water. I step in the water. Y'all don't get it. I couldn't do that.
I know that's right. You've been on the floor.
Y'all don't understand.
Yes.
So somebody out there, your every night might not be like mine. I dare you. I adjure you by the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I don't care if you're 5 years old. Laying on your bed of affliction.
My God.
Look at the little baby that's in the hospital, 2 years old. Heart got holes in it. Been praying for the family.
Yes.
God restore that baby's heart.
Yes.
My one problem with the family when the daddy was talking was that he said, the only thing that's been keeping my baby here is a fight to live. No, brother, let me help you understand. It's God to show you America and to show you that he real. When you give it to God, God will fix our heart.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
He'll restore it. Told you the doors are open. Jesus still saying, come unto me, all ye that labor and heavy laden, I give you rest.
Well.
See, some of y'all need to come to the pool because you keep going to the places you're going to because you got to feel good. You got to look good.
Yes.
You got to dress the way you dress just to be important, just to feel like somebody because you don't feel like nothing when you ain't around the folk that you're around. You got to stop and know your what? Here is the pool.
Yes.
You ain't got to fit in. Let them get in with you. Stop trying to be in with them.
That's right.
You done been on the drugs. You trying to impress folk. You trying to make folk like you and love you. Stop. Say it to my family today. watching, and when you watch, stop trying to make folk. And some of y'all doing it indirectly by the way that you're acting. They ain't accept you before. They ain't gonna accept you now. But if God accepted you, see what you're still doing, you still sleeping with it without sleeping with it, because you're sleeping with the thoughts of them accepting and liking you and loving you and wanting you and being bothered. So you sing things, you do things, you play things, and you enjoy things that you know catch their attention. Stop catching their attention.
Amen.
Stay with the attention of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Ask John Garrett, you ain't gonna have a whole lot of folk hanging around you. Can I tell you that?
Amen.
Ain't cause I ain't got it, ain't cause I can't have it, ain't cause I really don't want it. Honestly, I don't want it the way that I used to get it. Cause I can have all the attention I want. And sometimes I get attention and don't even look for it.
Amen.
And sometimes I hear my wife mouth and I ain't even trying to get nobody's attention. Can't say hey to nobody without getting the wrong kind of attention. The doors are open. Jesus still saying come.
Well,
Spirit said come. Bride said come.
whoa.
Whosoever will. You want to be included, you want to be in the inclusion, then you got to be willing to let go some things. Can I tell you, when you do that, you still going to struggle.
Yeah.
Still struggle with some things. Come on, y'all. There ain't no excuse, because I don't make no excuses.
Right.
But I got to learn how to continue to discipline myself. I can't tell you catch me on the wrong day. You can catch me on the good day. And if I am not in the frame of mind where God wants me to be, or I don't submit to God, my mouth's subject to say something.
Yellow wall.
There ain't no excuse.
Yeah.
Trying to help you, because in this thing, your flesh gonna war against your spirit. But are you willing to grow up at that moment? Or will you be a child at that moment? Uh-oh. That was hot off the press. That's what the Holy Ghost just gave.
Hallelujah.
See, my wife got a piece of paper that sit on top of her Bible and say, are you my family or are you my friend? See, I'm going to say like Jesus said, no longer do I call you my disciples, but I call you my friend.
You my friend or my enemy.
So Jesus said today, you at the pool. You lame. You impotent.
What's it for?
You got withered hands. You ain't got no control over your mouth. You ain't got control over your faculties because you feel you gotta sleep around. You got molested. You got raped. You feel you gotta sleep with the same sex that you are. You feel that you got to cover up the fact that these things happen. That's why you became an alcoholic. So you're still heterosexual, but that's why you use drugs. That's why you use alcohol. That's why you've been in multiple relationships. You have commitment issues because when you committed, things happen in the committed relationship. They didn't verbally abuse you. They didn't sexually abuse you. They didn't mentally abuse you. They didn't physically abuse you. But they abused your ability to trust. So now you got trust issues. So you got to do what you do. You ain't got to do it no more. He go to water. You got to have the self-control, so you go out and hurt many as you can. So you're impotent. You lack the control or the ability to stay in one relationship. Are y'all gonna pray with me?
Well,
Can't be friends with nobody. You're alone. You're a hermit.
That's me. That's
Come on,
me.
y'all. Need y'all to get it. Somebody gonna catch it. I'm going home on this here.
I talk to myself.
Get a halt. You coming in church and you sitting back in your wheelchair. You had a tracheotomy and now you got your trach tube in your throat there. You got somebody with a vacuum suction the slobber out of your mouth because you're drooling all over yourself. You got dropsy, so you got a bag on your side and you got a urine bag and everything else.
Lord.
You ain't got control over nothing. That's how you are spiritually. Got hurt in the church.
Yeah.
You allowed some because you were too busy trying to please them. Grandma did it. Granddaddy did it. They told you that was the right thing to do. Did you recognize what was and what wasn't? Did you do it just to make them happy?
My Lord.
You're preaching because somebody told you you look like a preacher, you sound like a preacher, you'll make a good preacher somewhere. Did God called you there?
Come on.
Yeah, you give, but do you know what giving is?
That's it.
Did they help you mature in the gift? Or did they tell you that's what your gift was?
Yes.
A lot of impotent folk.
Preach, Wilbur.
Yes.
Here go the pool. Sad thing is, Jesus walked in. Look at all these folks. And one man that God had designed him on that day, in that hour, in that moment, at the pool of Bethesda, in the porches that had been created by Solomon, at the water. Because see, one thing about the water, let me help y'all understand. And I'm going home really on this here. And you get ready to close it out. See, the water had healing properties because the water that was coming in, the mineral water that came in had healing properties, but the angel set it off.
Yes, he did.
When he stirred up the water just right. That's why they say with certain medicines, you got to shake it before you take it. Because you got to mix it up because the mixture of the medicines together give it the right formula and properties to shut down all you got.